as Chanukah, Mitzvah Hashem, we're holding already at Erev Chanukah, we know that the Yevonim decreed Shabbos Chodesh Milah. The Yevonim also decreed, terrible decree, that a Kala b'Yom Chuppasa, she had to defile herself with a, she had to have bia with a Greek officer, which is also a weird gezerim. I have to understand what was the oimik of this. A Kala b'Yom Chuppasa has to be mezana with a Greek officer. What's the sod over here? And also they were matame the menorah. What's the common denominator between all these things? Shabbos, Chodesh, Mila, the Gezerah of Bnei Yisrael, to be mafki Bnei Yisrael, and to be matame the oil. But the answer to these questions is also to explain the story of Mechiras Yosef that comes together with the story of Chanukah, and that is Yehuda was the one that instigated the Mechiras Yosef. And yet when all the brothers were sitting with sackcloth doing tshuva, when they saw the grief of their father Yaakov, yet Yehuda went as a apostle to look for a shidduch. He wasn't sitting with them just tzibrochen, broken and doing tshuva. And the Medrash Rabbah says that Hashem decided that, he has the koach now to get up and to look for a shidduch, so I'm boire the or of Mashiach from Yehuda. It's a very, very medrash that requires a lot of tzarchian. Yehuda Lechai wasn't, what was so good about what he was doing? He was responsible. He instigated the whole thing. Why isn't he sitting on the floor in sackcloth with the rest of the brothers? So you do have the word from the Heilige Rebbe Rabbinim that he said that Yehuda had this koyach to start all over again. Yehuda could have despaired. Yehuda could have said that it's all over for me. But yet he didn't. He had this koyach of his chachas. Let's begin all over again. It doesn't help just to despair. Let's begin all over again. And the first mitzvah in the Torah is to get married. He decided to start everything from fresh. The koyach is chachas of Yehuda. That's boyer, the or of Mashiach, which is going to bring the greatest, ultimate is chachas to the world. The or chodesh al tzion Torah. The shir l'Hashem shir chodesh to the world. What we want to expound on is to explain why Yehuda has this koyach of his chachas. Yehuda has the name Yudke Vovke in his name. His name is Yudke Vovke. The shame Yudke Vovke, we call it the shame Havaya, because it's the shame that Hashem is Mahava. Hashem is Machadesh. The Pasuk says in Tehillim, Lo'olam Hashem dvarcha nitzav b'shamayim. And the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh explains this Pasuk that Hashem is constantly recreating the world all the time. The shame Havaya is the shame Mahavaya, that Hashem is Mahava. Unlike the Shem Elikim, which is Gematria HaTeva, which is Teva, nature, which is constant, where one doesn't see Chiddush, the Shem Havaya is the name of constant His Chachas. And that's why when we say Hashem Hu Elikim, we are saying that just like the Shem Havaya shows His Chachas, we want the Shem Havaya to have an impact on the Shem Elikim, that one should see Hashem's His Chachas within nature itself. And that's why Motzei Yom Kippur, we all call out Hashem Elikim, because on Motzei Yom Kippur we feel such a His Chachas. We feel like we are not the same person. After spending 24 hours in shul, so holy and so uplifted, we feel we're totally new people. We're not the same person anymore. And because we're not the same person anymore, therefore, we feel our nature has changed. And that's why we call out Hashem Elikim. But Akal Panim, this is the koyach of Yehuda. Because Yehuda carries the name Yudke Vavke, and the name Yudke Vavke is written in the name of Yehuda, and the Yudke Vavke is the Havaya, the Hischachus. Therefore, Yehuda, the Malchus Yehuda, has this koyach of Hischachus, and therefore that's why Yehuda was able to start all over again. This explains. So we see from here, Yehuda is also the Melech. We see from here that Melech relates to the Shem Havaya, because Yehuda is the Melech, and his name is the Shem Havaya, and it relates to his Chachas. And this is why the first mitzvah we received when we were leaving Mitzrayim was the mitzvah of Kiddush HaChodesh. Kiddush HaChodesh is revealing the his Chachas of Hashem, of Brias Olam in this world. This is the Indian of Kiddush HaChodesh. And that's why Kiddush HaChodesh relates to Malchus. HaChodesh is Lochem. Lochem spells the letters Melech. Rosh Chodesh Nisan, HaChodesh Zelachem relates to Malchus, relates to Yehuda, relates to Malchus. The Mishnah says in Rosh Hashanah that Echad Ben Nisan is Rosh Hashanah LeMelachim LeMalchei Yisrael, because Chodesh is his Chachus. His Chachus, who reveals his Chachus? Yehuda the Melech. And that's why Chodesh relates to the Yudke Vavke, his Chachus. And that's why it's printed in the Sidurim and the Musaf of Rosh Chodesh. There are 12 ways of writing the Shem Havaya. connected, corresponding to the 12 months. Each month has a different siruf of the Shem Havaya. So Chodesh, which is Chiddush, which is Ischachus, relates to the Shem Havaya and relates to Malchus, because Malchus, Havaya, and Ischachus always go together. Paroi had said Lo Yodati is Havaya. He denies the whole concept of Havaya. He denies the whole concept of Havaya. And therefore the purpose of Yetzias Mitzrayim was to show that Hashem is Mahava, to show the Ischachus in the Bria, which Paroi denied. He used the Shem Elokim, he believes in Teva, but he doesn't believe in Havaya, the Ischachus. So the mitzvah of Kiddush HaChodesh shows the Ischachus of the Bria, and that's rooted in Havaya, which is rooted in Yehuda, which is rooted in Malchus. So that explains also why the climax of Yetzias Mitzrayim was Kriyas Yamsuf. And Kriyas Yamsuf, what happened in Kriyas Yamsuf was Oz Yoshem Ikan Remez LeTchias HaMeisim. Kriyas Yamsuf revealed the ultimate Ischachus, Tchias HaMeisim. Bodies that have decayed for thousands of years are going to come back to life. It's the ultimate Ischachus in the Bria. That is the shleimus of Yetzias Mitzrayim. Because Paroi said, Lo Yadati is Havaya. He denies in his Ischachus. And Mamela, therefore, the first mitzvah was Kiddush HaChodesh when we left Mitzrayim, and the ultimate is the revelation of Tchias HaMeisim. And that's why there's only the Yud Kei Vav Kei in the Shir Sayam. Even though the Shem Elokim should have been there, because Shem Elokim is Midas Adin and the Mitzrayim were punished. But yet there's only the Shem Havaya, because the Shem Havaya is the Shem of Ischachus, that Hashem is Mahava the Bria. And what was revealed, Tchias HaMeisim, is the ultimate Ischachus, which is the Shem Havaya, which is why only the Shem Havaya appears in the Shir Sayam. Which is also why, if there's Ischachus and there's Shem Havaya, then there must be Malchus. Because Yehuda is the shirish of revealing the Havaya and the Ischachus in the world. And therefore, who revealed the Tchias HaMeisim by Kriyas Yamsuf? Nachshon ben Aminadab from Shevet Yehuda. Shevet Yehuda, Nachshon jumped in, and he was the one who revealed, because Yehuda is the one who reveals the Havaya and the Ischachus. And therefore, when Nachshon jumped in, the sea split. They saw Tchias HaMeisim. They sang the Shira, all the Shem Havayas together in the Shira Sayam, and that was the shleimus of leaving Mitzrayim. This is also the sod of Shabbos. Shabbos, the Archam HaKodesh says that Hashem creates the Bria every week for 6 days. The 7th day is Shabbos, is the new Bria Soilam. That's why we begin Shabbos, Kiddush, Yoim Hashishi Vayechulu Hashamayim, Yud Kei Vav Kei. Yud Kei Vav Kei is Ischachus. That's why Shabbos is on the 7th day. The 7th day represents Malchus, the 7th mid of Malchus. So Shabbos is Malchus. We enter Shabbos with Yoim Hashishi Vayechulu Hashamayim. So Shabbos is also, it's Havaya, it's Malchus, and it's Ischachus. The whole Bria is reconnected. That's why Shabbos and Chodesh go hand in hand. V'hoya midei Chodesh b'chodshoi, u'midei Shabbos b'shabbatoi. Both Shabbos and both Chodesh represent the Ischachus, which comes through Havaya, which comes through the Malchus of Yehuda. And this is really the Kavanah in Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, where we reveal the Havaya, and then we say straight away, Baruch Shem Kavoid Malchusai. Malchus, Havaya and Malchus comes together. This is also the sod of Torah Shebal Peh. It says in the Patach Eliyahu, Torah Shebal Peh, do Malchus, do Torah Shebal Peh. Torah Shebal Peh is Malchus. Torah Shebal Peh is Malchus, as Torah Shebal Peh means, represents the Indian of Ischachus. And that's why Torah Shebal Peh is full of Chidushim. And that's why Torah Shebal Peh begins Kriyas Shema. Kriyas Shema is this galus of the Shem Havaya. And so Torah Shebal Peh begins with the Shem Havaya, begins with Krishma. Torah Shebal Peh is Malchus. Torah Shebal Peh begins with Ischachus. That's why the whole Seder's rhyme is dealing with Ischachus. The Masechtas, Trumas, Maisa, Bikurim, Chala, they're all called Rashis in the Torah. Rashis Harisasech and Rashis. Bikurim is called Lakachtami Rashis Priyat Moscha. Rashis is Ischachus. Torah Shebal Peh begins with Zraim, and because Torah Shebal Peh is Malchus, and Malchus is Ischachus, and Malchus is Havaya, and that's why Malchus is refers to. That's why the menorah the Tzaddik says represents Malchus. Torah Shebal Peh. The menorah represents Torah Shebal Peh, and that's why the pasuk says regarding Aaron HaKohen lighting the menorah, Vayas Kain Melamed Lahagid Shvacha Shel Aaron Sheloi Shino. Every time he lit the menorah, he lit it as if it's the first time, because menorah is Torah Shebal Peh. And Torah Shebal Peh is his chadshus, and it's the rashis. So, later, with that, we can come back and we can start understanding what was going on by the Yevonim. The Yevonim were the ones who cultivated, who brought out the chadshus in Gashmias. They brought out the koichas haguf. They were out to show the world tourism, see new things. They were out to show that this is chadshus within Olam Hazeh, outside of Havaya, outside of Ruchnias. That's the clip of Yovan. To show that this is chadshus within technology. His chadshus, their chadshus was severed from the ischadshus of Kedusha, the real ischadshus. Their ischadshus is not a chiddush. Ein kol chodesh tachas hashemesh. A gashmistic ischadshus is not a ischadshus. But they covered over the real ischadshus. And that's why when Matisyahu went out to fight, he raised the banner, Mi lahavaya elai. He came to restore the Shem Havaya. And that's why the Yevonim were goyzer on Shabbos, because we just said that Shabbos is ischadshus. They were goyzer on the Kiddush HaChodesh, obviously, like we said, Kiddush HaChodesh. There were also goyzer on Mila. Mila is the pasuk Mi Yala Lanu Hashemayim is Rosh Hashanah Mila, and his Soif Tev is Yud Kei Vavkei. The Mila is the Isgalus of Yud Kei Vavkei in a person. That's why Yosef HaTzadik was the first Melech in Israel, because he's Kedushas Avris. So Mela, this is why the Yevonim decreed against these three mitzvahs. They also decreed that Akala b'Yom Chapasa. She's about to begin a Bayis Nema b'Yisrael. She's about to embark on building a new house. This is mamish like his Chadshus in Bria. The first of the Shara Brachas is Yotzer Ha'adam. Kesamecha Yitzircha B'Gan Eden Mikeda. A chasna kala, mitzvah Hashem, building a home, having children and building a Yiddish home is a new bria. It says chadshus bria. This is what they were against. Just like they were goyza on Kiddush HaChodesh, Shabbos and Mila, they were goyza against this as well. And this is why they were also metamed Hashem, because the menorah represents the Torah Shebal Peh, represents the hischadshus, the emistic hischadshus, that a person can learn the same thing 100 times and he feels each time the hischadshus, he feels the chiddush. And this is all what the Yevonim were trying to undermine. A person buys a new car, it's new to him, his neighbors had the same car for 10 years. It's not real ischadshus. The only real ischadshus is ischadshus in Torah, in connecting to the Hashem Havaya, and that's the emes Malchus, the Malchus Shemayim. And that's Yehuda. And that's why Yehuda's koyach was revealed in these weeks leading to Chanukah. Because he represents the ultimate Havaya, the ultimate ischadshus. With that, we can also explain the mistake that the Chashmonah made. When they raised this banner, Min Hashem Elai, they were also Nislabish into Malchus, and they took over Malchus, even though they're from Shevet Yehuda. Because we just said that the Shem Havaya, who reveals the Shem Havaya in the world, it's Yehuda. So if they were Zoche with the Min Hashem Elai to restore the Havaya to the world, the Hischadjus to the world, that goes hand in hand with Malchus. That's coming from Yehuda. And maybe they took the Malchus from Yehuda as well. So this is the time, it comes to Chanukah, that we have to be mechazek ourselves in all areas of Ruchnias. The avodah of Shavisi Havai Lenekdi Summit is always to see the hischadshus, always to feel a nuance, a hischadshus in everything in Yiddishkeit, in Torah, in everything in Yiddishkeit. And then we'll be Zoichem et Hashem to the Orach Chodesh Al Tzi and Tov and Izkech Elonim Meher La'orim Meher B'Yameinu Amen.